Women up, women up, women up, women up. I miss a W to the O to the MAN. The woman up show for empower women. I say space to learn and to dream big.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Woman Up. Now, today's episode is going to be a bit different. Of course, we're going to be speaking with an amazing young lady, but this segment specifically is called Because She's All That. And during this segment, we usually speak to amazing young girls and women who are doing wonderful things in Jamaica and all over the world. Now, today I'm going to be joined by an incredible young lady. Like, I don't think you understand, but when you listen, and when you hear her story, you will understand why I say that. Now, her name is Shenielle Gayle, and she is a 2024 Sagicor Foundation Scholar. And also, not just that, also, she's a recipient of the inaugural Chairman's Innovation Award. And she's an exemplary third year computer science student at the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, Jamaica. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about Sheneille before she comes on screen. No, Sheneille's journey is a testament to the power of perseverance and the pursuit of one's passion despite life's challenges. After losing her sight in 2019, Sheneille has dedicated herself to not only teaching herself, but also others who are disabled to use their phones and laptops through the use of AI, as well as an application she developed. Now, her love for technology and innovation began long before she lost sight, as her mother worked in information technology and taught Sheneille a lot and allowed her love for technology to blossom. Now, there's so many things I can say about Sheneille, but I'm going to have Sheneille come on screen and share that with us today. Sheneille, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning. I'm blessed. I'm well. How about you?
I'm not bad at all. I look here, Sheneille. I was sitting down reading a story, watching this amazing video.
Becoming a Sagicor scholar means you now have a responsibility to continue your path to greatness.
My passion for IT actually began when I was younger. I had a passion for setting up new gadgets that we bought from the store and learning new things online and things like that. That's how my passion for IT actually began. About 2017, I realized that my eyesight was getting really bad in the left eye. I could hardly see the board. I have to go up close to the board to see it. And that's where we found out that there was a non-cancerous tumor at my pituitary gland, and it was causing pressure on my left optic nerve at the time. That's when I did my first surgery to remove the tumor. I didn't get back my sight in my left eye after that surgery. In 2019, my right eye started to droop extremely. When they did a CT scan on me, they realized that the tumor grew back, and this time it is now compressing the right eye nerve. My eyesight just took its time and dwindled till it's at the point now where I can only see light.
Your story is incredible. I love how you love technology. That's it. And I love how you didn't let your challenges at all stop you from doing what you wanted to do and what you want to do with life. So let me start with this, Sheneille. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood and how your mother's career in IT first introduced you to the world of technology?
Well, my childhood, as I said, mother is in IT, so we had a computer. And I tell this story all the while. When I was younger, I was just one digit at the time. Not 1 years old, but one digit. I didn't reach the 10 yet, definitely. I was still very much young. I remember my mother and I used to always play Bejeweled on the computer. And she would leave me at home with my grandmother in the days and go to work. But she would leave the Bejeweled up. She only taught me how to shut down the computer when I'm finished. But she didn't teach me how to turn it on back if I want to get back on the Bejeweled. So one day I was there playing it, And then I shut down the computer, say I was finished. But you know, we as kids, we can never make up our mind sometimes. So at one point, I felt like I wanted to play it again. But remember, she didn't teach me how to turn on back the computer. But young little me went and fiddled around with it and found out how to turn it on back just by what I've observed my mother doing. Turn it on back and pull up the video and started playing it again. And that's basically where I took off. I've always had a passion for IT ever since. Anytime anything new as it relates to technology was introduced into our household, I was always excited to set it up, always excited to learn new things in as it relates to technology and things like that. Always exploring.
I love to hear that. I want to jump on over. No, I would have said it before in terms of just a little snippet about the challenge you would have faced as it relates to losing sight. But I want you to share that story, and I want you to discuss what the biggest challenge have been for you on your journey so far.
Wow, there have been so many. But the process started losing my sight in 2017. Well, actually, in when I was in grade 7, 2013, I realized that it was getting a little hard to see the board. But when I went to the doctor, he just told me one of my nerves was a bit weak, and I got some glasses, and that was good. That was good till about um late grade 10, I believe, or just at the start of grade 11. In 2017, late 2017, I realized that the sight in my left eye was dwindling very fast. I could hardly see the board at school even though I had on glasses. I had to be going up near to the board. And I went to the doctor. One doctor said it was retina damage, couldn't be fixed. At that point, I was seeing about half of out of my left eye. Went to another doctor, he said it was glaucoma. So my mother said, all right, let's go to a glaucoma specialist. Went to the glaucoma specialist. They said there's no way this is glaucoma because my eye pressure was normal. So he said it must be something behind the eye. Um, did a MRI, found out it was a mass compressing my optic nerve. So I had to do a surgery in late 2017. I didn't get back sight in my left eye after that. But my right eye was still okay. So I thought I was good. I'll just go through the world even if it's just with one eye. And then I had to end up repeating grade 11. And then this story will shock you. 1 month before my CXC examinations, April 1 to be precise, I felt extremely drowsy that day at school from the moment I wake up. And I'm a very studious person, so if you see that I sleep through devotion straight till lunchtime at school, you know something is wrong. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
did that day. I felt like my right eye was just drooping extremely. So I went to the nurse and I told her my whole history and whatever. And she called my mother and gave me a reference to go to UE.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Drew long bench all night till morning, and they did a CT scan. They found out that the mass grew back because apparently the doctor didn't take out everything, and it was now
What?
compressing the right eye nerve and the motor muscles for the right eye, which was causing it to droop.
Wow.
So remember, it's 1 month before exams.
Right, right.
So I ended up being admitted. I didn't end up doing surgery, the second surgery, till the 16th. And then I was out of the hospital by the Easter Monday. I literally begged the doctors to release me. But I couldn't study or anything in the hospital. It's the problem is with my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came out of the hospital, I at that point I couldn't see like pen marks and pencil marks. I could only see marker writing, and I could, if I lift up my right eyelid, I could see to walk by myself. So I had 1 week to study for exams. I was doing 8 subjects. I had to study for every exam the night before, except for English literature. The 1 week I had before exams, I studied English literature in that 1 week. It's many poems and stuff. And I made my notes using the marker. I had to get a reader writer for exams. But I'm telling you, if it wasn't for God, because I brought God with me through this whole process, there wasn't a moment that I didn't pray and include him in what I was doing. And I came out of that exam with all my eight subjects, and I did one in grade 9 already. So I
Wow.
left high school with all 9 subjects.
Wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's amazing. That's an amazing story, Sheneille. Sheneille, let me tell you this. Me don't know if you know. But enough people couldn't go through that, them say, all right, me don't find out. That's it. All right. Me lose my sight. That's it. Let me just move on. You understand? And they won't actually continue to go after the goals and the dreams that they have for themselves. So I feel like I think the most beautiful thing about you and your story is the fact that you decided to continue and to push through. That's really, really beautiful to see.
And I'm telling you that I wouldn't have done it,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, if it wasn't for God, because right at that moment, you see, about in the same week, I found out about the fact that it was a mass compressing my optic nerve in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I found the right church for me, which since has been an encouragement leading me getting my relationship closer with God, and
Mm-hmm.
God has been bringing me through every moment of it. He is my biggest encouragement and motivation throughout the whole process. At one point I sat and I asked myself, Sheneille, shouldn't you be crying? Look at all that you have been through. And I'm like, one at a time I started to force the tears because I'm saying, no, this is not normal. You should be crying. But I'm telling you, he was my comfort throughout the whole process, and he is still my comfort and my guide. Everything I do, I include him in it.
I
I'm telling
really, I,
you, he's the only one who could have allowed me to get the passes that I got in CXC despite the circumstances.
oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sheneille. And trust me, your story is just inspiring. And I told her before, listeners and everybody watching that her story, I don't know her, right? I just met Sheneille, but her story is so inspiring and she's such a sweet girl. What I want to ask you though, Sheneille, you're so positive, despite it all. Um, but like how did you work on really overcoming these difficulties that you have, especially earlier I heard you speak about reading, like using screen readers and various technologies to help you. Can you talk a little bit about that?
All right. So after I finished my exams, I was just at home doing nothing. I learned the buttons. After I did my last surgery and I did my exams, the sight kind of dwindled down to the point where now I'm only seeing light in the right eye. That was about December 2019. So since that, I had just been at home. I learned the remote for the TV, just trying to help out around the place. That was about it. I knew I wanted to pursue a career in IT, but I didn't know how. I said, God, I don't know how to use the computer now. I can't use my computer. I can't use my phone. What am I going to do? And he sent a destiny helper. One of my mother's co-workers who was also visually impaired, she called my mother and told me that I could go by the Jamaica Society for the Blind and learn how to use an application called a screen reader on my computer and my phone that would help me to be able to navigate them, and then I could go about my usual life. I was so excited, so I took up the opportunity. I went up there, I got registered. They taught me braille up there, but I haven't used it since, because of the technology. They taught me how to use my screen reader with just the basics of Windows as well as email using the browser and Microsoft Word. And they taught me how to, navigate around the place with my cane. So when I learned that from them, I was so elated. I was like, all right, God, you show me the way. This is how I'm going to be able to pursue my career in IT despite the challenges. And then from there, because I knew I wanted to do a degree in IT, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that they're going to expect me to use applications like Access and Excel and stuff like that. So, but when I went on, they didn't teach that by the Society for the Blind. And when I went online, all the tutorials, even though they were in English, the titles were in English. When you started playing them, they were in Hindi. That was like gibberish to me.
Oh.
So, because I knew how to use them before I lost my sight, I just sat and taught myself how to use them with the screen basics that I learned about the screen reader.
Oh.
And then since that, because I realized that there are a lot of tutorials out there and there are other persons out there who would want the same, I started creating tutorials for others as well.
Wow. That's beautiful. I think one of the things that I love is the fact that you saw a problem, and because it affects you personally as well, I mean, you could just do things for you and try to work on things for you and you go through life, but you found a problem, you worked on it, and you started creating to help other people. And I think I love that. I love people who love to help people. Now, the Sagicor Foundation has an amazing award that they call the Chairman's Innovation Award. And for our listeners and those watching, this was designed to recognize and celebrate exceptional creativity and originality among Sagicor Foundation scholarship recipients. Now, this prestigious award is granted to individuals who have demonstrated the ability to develop groundbreaking ideas, processes, or products that offer innovative solutions to real world challenges. Now, Shenielle, when you found out, first of all, tell me the story in terms of how you found out that you got this award. That's one. And how does that make you feel personally that you were the one who received this award for 2024?
All right, so I applied for the Sagicor scholarship just as everyone else who did the interview, told that I was gonna get the scholarship and I should come to the award ceremony. But then later on, I also got a call that they were doing a video shoot of a selected few of the sponsorship awardees, and I was selected to be one of them. So they wanted to do a video shoot with me. I said okay. All right, so we went and we did the interview, the video shoot, and then now the day came towards the award ceremony. I was just thanking God for the scholarship to be able to, sort out the tuition for my last year so I can just focus on studying. And we were at the event. It was an awesome event. Trust me, it was organized well. We were at the event, they handed out the scholarships and everything, and I was feeling content, and it was getting to the end of the event and they said, wait, they have some special awards. I said, okay, all right. They introduced the fact that the awards were new for they were inaugural for this year. That was the Visionary Award, I believe, and the Chairman's Innovation Award, and they listed out the criteria. But all this time I was saying, well, how did they have me do this interview, this video shoot? And I'm not seeing it play. I haven't seen it played anywhere yet. I said, probably they were planning on playing it somewhere else. So, um, they listed out the criteria for the Visionary Award, and the way how they did it, the moderator spoke out the criteria for the award, and then they played the person's video on the screen to let you
Okay.
know who won it. So
Okay.
they spoke out the criteria for the Visionary Award. That's for great volunteerism and stuff like that. And they then played the gentleman's video on the screen, and he was doing nursing at UTech, I believe. I can't remember his name. Please forgive me, I can't remember his name. But he went up and he collected his award and he gave a speech, everybody was smiling, congratulating him and everything. Then they introduced the Chairman's Innovation Award, and they were reading out the criteria and things like that, and then ready to play the video on the screen. Lo and behold, it was me on the screen. My mother was like, Shenielle, it's you. And then
Oh my
everybody,
God.
I was so in shock. Everybody, was turning around to me, congratulating me and stuff. And I was just like, oh my God. I was so surprised. I was so shocked. And I just felt like I was melting. Trust me. And then I went up and collect the award, and they allowed me to give a speech. And it just makes me feel like, all that because I have a passion for helping persons. From ever since I was younger, all I wanted to do was just help. If I saw you hurt, if there's anything I could do to help, I wanted to help, right? So I love being able to help persons and to push them to the next level. So it was just something I was doing as a passion and out of the goodness of my heart. Like even with the YouTube channel and stuff, I don't not interested in pushing for monetization and things like that. Just pushing out, the help out there for persons. And it was just humbling to know that all of my hard work just helping persons out of the goodness of my heart, I would be, rewarded like this in such a great and surprising way, in such a shocking manner. It's like all the hard work, has just paid off. It really shows that, when you do good for persons, it does come back to you.
That's very beautiful to hear. Thank you for sharing that, Sheneille. And that story is so funny because you said Sheneille is like, so they made me do the video and the video not play. So what the video then? I really love that, and I figure it would be such of a surprise to you. Now I know we're a bit out of time. But I have one last question that I really, really want you to answer. And this is for other young people who are out there who may have similar issues growing up or going through school right now. What advice would you give to those young people who face the similar challenges to yourself?
Well, no, I always say this is my motto. Use your obstacles as a stepping stone to get to the next level. Don't allow whatever blockage is in front of you might be facing to stop you. There's always a way around it, especially when you put God in the midst. God is the way maker. Don't allow your obstacles to stop you. There's always a way around it. It's just for you to allow him to move, make room for him in your life, allow him to move and to make the way.
Beautifully said. Ladies and gentlemen, listening and watching, Miss Shenielle Gayle, 2024 Sagicor Scholar, and also the Chairman's Innovation Awardee. Wow. Sheneille, again, I'll say thank you so much for, agreeing to be a part of Woman Ups, because she's all that segment. We really do appreciate it. And from the team at Woman Up, we want to wish you all the best in your endeavors. We know you're a star. We know you're going to come out on top. And we're literally just going to be sitting and watching. Thank you so much. And to all our listeners, to all those who are watching, thank you so much for tuning in week after week to Woman Up. We really do appreciate your support. And I say it all the time. There would be no Woman Up without you. So we appreciate all the support that you give. Stay tuned to Woman Up as we go through season 2 of our wonderful program aimed at helping young women in Jamaica to navigate womanhood. I am Aishiba Cornwall, and I am signing out. I'll see you in the next one.
Women up. Women up. Woman up. Women up. Women up. I'm say W to the O to the MAN. The Woman Up show for empower women. I say space to learn and to dream big.